The rain had started just as Victoria Chen stepped out of the black sedan, and she hated being wet, almost as much as she hated being late. The driver held an umbrella over her head while she clutched her phone, scrolling through acquisition reports that wouldn't matter in an hour, wouldn't matter tomorrow, wouldn't matter at all if she was being honest with herself. But Victoria Chen didn't do honesty. Not that kind, anyway. She did quarterly earnings and board meetings and 12-hour days that bled into 12-hour nights. The art gallery event was supposed to be quick. Show face, write a check, leave. That was the plan. She didn't plan on the little girl. 4 miles across downtown Portland, Ben Matthews was running late too, but for different reasons. His daughter Lily had refused to wear anything but her purple fairy wings to school that morning, which meant negotiating with a 6-year-old at 7 a.m., while burning toast and searching for matching socks that probably didn't exist anymore. He'd given in on the wings, pick your battles, and now he was paying for it by sprinting through the grocery store after his shift, grabbing whatever he could afford before Lily got out of her after-school program. Ben worked construction. His hands were calloused, his back hurt most mornings, and his bank account had exactly $243 until Friday. He counted every cent, knew the price of milk down to the penny, bought the dented cans because they were cheaper. But he'd promised Lily spaghetti tonight, her favorite. So he grabbed the pasta, the sauce, the ground beef that wasn't on sale, but she liked the way he made it, with a little bit of cinnamon like his grandmother used to do. He checked his watch. 17 minutes to get across town. He could make it. Victoria stood in the gallery with a glass of wine she wouldn't drink, surrounded by people who wanted her attention, her money, her approval. She gave them her practiced smile, the one that looked warm in photographs but never reached her eyes. Then she saw the paintings. Children, dozens of them, painted by local elementary students, bright and unpolished and so earnest it almost hurt to look at. The gallery had dedicated one wall to them as part of some community outreach thing Victoria's assistant had mentioned, and she'd immediately forgotten. She found herself standing in front of one painting in particular, a house, a father and daughter holding hands. The sky was purple, completely unrealistic, and the sun had a smile on it. In the corner, written in careful letters, "My dad is the best cook. He makes the hurt go away, by Lily M." Victoria stared at it longer than she meant to. "Ms. Chen?" Someone was talking to her, a board member. She turned, said something appropriate, moved on. But 20 minutes later, she was back in front of that painting. Ben made it to Bright Futures after school with 3 minutes to spare. He pushed through the door, breathing hard, and immediately spotted Lily at the craft table, tongue poking out in concentration as she glued cotton balls onto construction paper. "Dad!" She launched herself at him, wings slightly bent but still attached. "Hey, Bug." He caught her, lifted her up even though his arms were tired. "Good day." "I made a cloud picture. Mrs. Ramirez said it was very fluffy." "I bet it was." "Ready to go home?" She nodded against his shoulder, and he felt that thing he always felt, that overwhelming gratitude that he got to be her father, mixed with the terror that he wasn't enough, would never be enough. They walked to the bus stop. Ben didn't own a car anymore, sold it 8 months ago when the medical bills got too high. Lily didn't complain. She never complained about anything. The bus was crowded. Ben kept Lily close, her small hand in his, fairy wings bumping against other passengers who gave them looks ranging from annoyed to amused. They got off at their stop just as the rain started again. "Run!" Lily squealed, and they ran together, splashing through puddles, her backpack bouncing, both of them laughing by the time they reached the apartment building. Neither of them noticed the black sedan that had been following their bus for the last 15 minutes. Victoria told herself she was being ridiculous. She'd asked the gallery coordinator about the painting, learned the child's name, Lily Matthews, 6 years old, Bright Futures after-school program. She'd made some calls, found the location, drove there herself, which she never did, waited outside like some kind of stalker, which she definitely never did. She told herself she just wanted to see if the kid was okay. The painting had mentioned hurt. What kind of hurt? Was someone hurting this child? Victoria had built her fortune in tech, in ones and zeros. in problems that had solutions if you were smart enough and ruthless enough. But she'd grown up in foster care, bounced between homes where people collected checks and forgot to collect her from school. She knew what it looked like when a kid was falling through the cracks, so she waited. And when the little girl with the fairy wings came out holding the hand of a man in a dusty work jacket, Victoria's trained eye immediately cataloged everything: the worn backpack, the bus pass, the way the man's shoulders curved protectively around his daughter, the way the little girl looked up at him like he'd hung the moon. And then they ran in the rain, laughing, and something in Victoria's chest twisted hard. She followed the bus in her sedan, told her driver to hang back, watch them get off, watch them run, watch them disappear into an apartment building that had seen better days. Victoria sat in the car for a long moment. Then she got out. Ben was making the sauce when Lily appeared beside him, dragging her step stool. "I want to help." "You can stir," he said, handing her the wooden spoon. "Gentle, like this." She stirred with intense concentration. Wings slightly in the way, but she refused to take them off. Ben chopped the onions, browned the meat, added the sauce and that pinch of cinnamon. The kitchen was tiny, barely enough room for both of them, but it was theirs. "Dad?" "Yeah, Bug? Why don't we have a mom?" Ben's hand stilled on the spoon. They'd had this conversation before, but it never got easier. "You had a mom," he said carefully. She got sick, remember? Before you were big enough to remember her much." "But why didn't we get a new one?" "It doesn't work like that, sweetheart. Emily has 2 moms, and Jordan has a mom and a dad and a stepmom." Ben knelt down so he was eye level with her. "Are you sad about it just being us?" Lily thought about it with the seriousness of someone much older. "No, I just wondered sometimes. But you're a good dad. You make the hurt go away." He pulled her into a hug, careful of the wings. "Where'd you hear that?" "I wrote it, on my painting at school." "What hurt, Lily?" "Just, well, when I'm sad, or when my tummy hurt last week, or when I have bad dreams. You make it better." Ben held her tighter. "That's my job, Bug, best job in the world." The knock on the door startled them both. Victoria didn't know what she was doing. Standing in a dim hallway that smelled like old carpet and someone's dinner, knocking on a door marked 3C, she felt completely out of her element. The door opened. The man from the bus stop stood there, surprise crossing his face. He was younger than she'd thought, maybe early 30s, with brown hair that needed a cut and eyes that were kind even when they were confused. "Can I help you?" Victoria's carefully prepared speech evaporated. "I'm sorry to bother you. My name is Victoria Chen. I was at an art gallery today and I saw your daughter's painting." Ben's expression shifted immediately to protective. "What about it? Is she okay?" "The painting mentioned..." Victoria felt stupid now. "It mentioned hurt, and I just wanted to make sure everything was all right." "Who are you?" Ben's voice was still polite but cooler now. "Dad?" Lily appeared behind him, peeking around his legs. "Who's that?" Victoria looked down at the little girl with the fairy wings and felt something crack open in her chest. "Hi," Victoria said softly. "You're Lily, right? I saw your painting. It was beautiful." Lily beamed. "The one with the purple sky?" "That's the one. Purple's my favorite color." "Mine too," Victoria lied. She didn't have a favorite color. She didn't have time for favorite colors. Ben put a hand on Lily's shoulder. "Ms. Chen, I appreciate your concern, but we're fine. Lily's fine. The painting was just... kids say things. She's happy. We're good." He was dismissing her. Victoria, who never got dismissed, who walked into boardrooms and made men twice her age nervous, was being politely shown the door by a single father in a tiny apartment who probably made in a year what she spent on shoes. And the worst part was, he was right to dismiss her. She had no business being here. "Of course," Victoria said. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. This was inappropriate." She turned to leave, and that's when she heard it. A crash from inside the apartment. Something falling, breaking. And then Lily's voice, small and scared. "Dad, the pot!" Ben spun around and Victoria, operating on instinct, followed him inside. The sauce pot had tipped over, red sauce everywhere. and Ben was already moving, grabbing towels, turning off the stove, checking Lily's hands to make sure she hadn't been burned. I'm sorry, Lily was crying now. I just wanted to help and I pulled the spoon too hard. You're okay, Bug, you're not hurt, that's all that matters. But Victoria saw his face, saw the way he looked at the ruined dinner, at the sauce that had been their meal, at the empty pot that meant they had nothing else. She saw him do the calculation, the money he didn't have, the promise he'd broken. Hey, Victoria said quietly. She'd picked up a dish towel without thinking, was already helping to clean. Hey, it's okay, it's just sauce. That was dinner, Ben said, and his voice cracked just slightly. Lily was sobbing now, the kind of crying that came from knowing she'd done something wrong, even though she was 6, and it was an accident, and she'd just been trying to help her father, Victoria Chen, who'd negotiated billion-dollar deals without blinking, who'd fired entire departments without losing sleep, who'd built an empire on being cold and calculating, knelt down in the sauce-splattered kitchen and looked at the little girl with fairy wings. Lily, she said, do you like pizza? Lily hiccuped, confused. What? Pizza. I was on my way to pick up pizza when I stopped by. Way too much pizza for just me. Think you and your dad could help me eat it? It was a transparent lie. Ben recognized it immediately. Ms. Chen, we don't need... I'm not offering charity. Victoria stood up, met his eyes. I'm offering pizza, and honestly, I could use the company. I eat alone every night in a house so big I forget which room I'm in. So you'd actually be doing me a favor. Ben wanted to say no. She could see it in his face, that pride that came from years of making it on his own, of not accepting handouts, of being enough for his daughter, even when enough was barely scraping by. But Lily was still crying, and the sauce was still everywhere, and Victoria was still standing there with sauce on her $4,000 shoes, like it didn't matter at all. What do you say, Bug? Ben asked quietly. Pizza with Ms. Chen? Lily wiped her eyes. Can I keep my wings on? Victoria smiled, and for the first time in years it reached her eyes. I wouldn't have it any other way. The pizza arrived 40 minutes later. Victoria had made a call, pulled strings she didn't usually pull for personal reasons, and they sat in Ben's tiny living room that doubled as Lily's play area, eating pepperoni and mushroom off paper plates. Victoria watched the way Ben cut Lily's pizza into small pieces without being asked, the way he wiped sauce off her chin, the way he listened when she talked about her day, really listened, like every word mattered. So you're rich? Lily asked with the bluntness of childhood. Lily, Ben's face flushed. It's okay, Victoria said. Yeah, I guess I am. Like princess rich? More like really boring business rich. Do you have a castle? I have a big house, no moat though. Lily considered this. That's sad. Castles should have moats. You're absolutely right. I'll look into that. Ben was quiet, picking at his pizza, and Victoria knew he was still uncomfortable with this whole situation. But Lily had stopped crying, and there was food. And sometimes that had to be enough. Can I ask you something? Victoria said to Ben. He looked up, guarded. Sure. The painting. Lily wrote that you make the hurt go away. What did she mean? Ben glanced at his daughter, who was now lying on the floor, fairy wings spread out, eating pizza crust. When my wife passed, Lily was only 2, too young to really understand. But she knew something was different, something was wrong. She'd cry at night, these heartbroken sobs, and nothing would help. Nothing except... He trailed off, and Lily piped up, Daddy sings. Victoria waited. I'm not a good singer, Ben said, embarrassed. But my grandmother used to sing to me when I was little. Old songs mostly, hymns and folk songs. So when Lily couldn't sleep, I'd sing to her. It helped. Still does sometimes. He has the best voice, Lily said loyally. It makes everything okay. Victoria's throat felt tight. That's a good gift to give someone. It's all I have to give her most days. Ben's voice was quiet. I work hard, but construction doesn't pay like it used to. We get by, barely. She deserves better. I have everything I need," Lily said, rolling over. "I have you." And Ben smiled, this soft, broken, beautiful smile that made him look both older and younger at the same time. Victoria excused herself to the bathroom, really just needed a moment to breathe. The apartment was small, worn, but it was clean. Pictures of Lily covered one wall, a timeline of her life, school projects, a calendar with appointments circled in careful handwriting. On the tiny kitchen counter, she saw a stack of mail, bills mostly. One envelope stamped "Final Notice" in red. Victoria closed her eyes. She knew this story. She'd lived this story. Different details, same desperation. When she came back out, Lily was showing her a book. "This is my favorite. Dad reads it every night." It was worn, pages soft from repeated handling. "Where the Wild Things Are." "Classic choice," Victoria said, sitting back down. "Do you have kids?" Lily asked. "No." "Why not?" "Lily, that's not polite," Ben started. "It's okay," Victoria said. "Honest answer? I work too much, I wouldn't be a good mom." "You're nice, though," Lily said. "You brought pizza." "Once. That doesn't make me mom material. My dad says being a parent is about showing up. You showed up today." Victoria looked at Ben, who had the grace to look embarrassed. That's what I try to teach her. That love is a choice you make every day." "Smart kid," Victoria said. "Smart dad," Lily corrected. Victoria left 2 hours later. Lily had fallen asleep on the couch, wings still on, and Ben had carried her to their bedroom. They shared it, Victoria realized, because it was a one-bedroom apartment, and Ben slept on the couch. At the door, Ben stopped her. "Thank you," he said, "for tonight, for the pizza, for not making me feel like what? Like I'm failing her." Victoria's chest hurt. "You're not failing her. Anyone can see that. She's happy. She feels loved. That's not failing. She deserves more than this." Ben gestured at the small apartment. "More than pizza as a special occasion. More than second-hand clothes and a father who can barely make rent. She deserves you," Victoria said firmly. "Everything else is just noise." Ben studied her face. "Why did you really come here tonight?" Victoria could have lied, should have lied. But standing in this doorway, talking to this man who loved his daughter more than anything, who worked himself to exhaustion to give her a life, she found she didn't want to. "I saw her painting, and I saw what she wrote about you, and I realized I couldn't remember the last time anyone felt that way about me, like I made hurt go away instead of causing it." Ben's expression softened. "I think you're harder on yourself than you need to be, and I think you're not hard enough on the world that makes a good father feel like he's failing." They stood there for a moment, and something passed between them. Understanding, maybe. Recognition. "Can I ask you something, E?" Ben said. "Sure. Why do you work so much? What are you trying to prove?" No one had asked her that in years, maybe ever. "I grew up with nothing," Victoria said. "Foster care, group homes, the works. I told myself that if I ever made it out, I'd never be vulnerable again. Never need anyone. Never depend on anything except myself." "How's that working out?" Victoria laughed, but it was hollow. "I'm very successful and completely alone, so you tell me." "For what it's worth," Ben said. "Tonight didn't feel like being with someone who was alone. It felt like being with someone who maybe just forgot how to let people in." Victoria's eyes burned. She blinked hard. "I should go." "Yeah." But neither of them moved. "Can I?" Victoria hesitated. "Would it be weird if I stayed in touch? Checked in sometimes?" "Why would you want to?" "Because Lily's painting is still stuck in my head, and because tonight reminded me what it feels like to be around people who actually matter." Ben smiled. "Sure, yeah, Lily would like that. She already told me you're her new favorite person because you like purple." "I don't actually like purple. I know, she does too, but she'll appreciate the effort." Victoria left her business card. An absurd gesture in a place like this, but it was all she had. Ben took it, looked at it, raised his eyebrows. Chen Technologies. That's you? That's me. Holy. He stopped himself, glanced at Lily's closed door. You're that Victoria Chen. Is that a problem? No, I thought you were a concerned citizen, not one of the richest women in Portland. Does it matter? Ben thought about it. No, not really. You still ate pizza on my floor and helped clean up sauce. See? Common ground. She left before she could say anything else stupid, before she could let herself feel too much of whatever this was. But as she sat in the back of her sedan, pulling away from that worn apartment building, Victoria Chen made a decision. The next morning, she cleared her schedule, called her assistant, gave instructions that were met with shocked silence. Are you feeling okay, Ms. Chen? I'm fine, just do it. 3 days later, Ben got a call, a job offer, construction foreman position at a new development project across town. Better pay, better hours, benefits. He almost didn't take it. It felt too convenient, too coincidental. But when he saw the company name, not Chen Technologies, but a subsidiary of a subsidiary, he hesitated, called the number on Victoria's card. Did you do this? He asked when she answered. Do what? The job offer. I made a call, mentioned your name to someone who needed good people. What you do with that is up to you. Victoria, it's not charity. Ben, you're good at what you do. I checked. You've been crew lead on every site for the past 3 years. Your bosses love you. You just needed someone to open a door. I opened it. Walking through is your choice. He was quiet for a long time. Thank you. Thank Lily. She's the one who reminded me that showing up matters. Ben took the job. Victoria didn't see them for 3 weeks. She was busy. Acquisitions, meetings, the usual grind. But she thought about them. About Lily's fairy wings and Ben's quiet strength and the way it felt to sit on a floor eating pizza with people who didn't want anything from her except her company. Then her assistant buzzed her. Ms. Chen, there's a child here to see you. Victoria's heart jumped. Send her in. Lily walked into the office like she owned it. Fairy wings replaced by a school backpack holding a piece of paper. Behind her, apologetic and overwhelmed, came Ben. I'm so sorry. She insisted. We were nearby and she wanted to thank you and I couldn't talk her out of... It's fine, Victoria said, standing. Hi, Lily. Hi, I made you something. She thrust the paper at Victoria. Another painting. This one showed 3 people, a man, a woman, and a child. They were sitting on a floor eating pizza. The sky was still purple. My dad says you helped him get a better job, Lily said. So I wanted to say thank you. And also, do you want to come to my school play? I'm a tree, the best tree. Victoria looked at Ben over Lily's head. He mouthed, I'm sorry, but his eyes were warm. I would love to come to your school play, Victoria said. When is it? Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Dad will be there. And now you. Then I'll be there. Lily hugged her, just launched herself forward without warning. And Victoria froze for a second before carefully putting her arms around the small body, feeling the butterfly wings of a heartbeat against her chest. When Lily pulled back, she was grinning. You give good hugs. Dad said you probably weren't a hugger, but I knew you were. Did he now? Ben had the grace to look embarrassed. In my defense, you seemed very, professional when we first met. Professional is code for cold? Professional is code for scared, Ben said quietly. And Victoria felt exposed, seen. After they left, Lily chattering all the way to the elevator about her tree costume, Victoria stood in her office, looking at the painting. 3 people. A family that wasn't a family. Not yet. Maybe never. But maybe. Thursday night, Victoria showed up to Meadowbrook Elementary wearing jeans, actual jeans, which her assistant claimed to have never seen, and carrying flowers she wasn't sure were appropriate for a school play, but felt right anyway. The cafeteria/auditorium was packed with parents and folding chairs, and the beautiful chaos of children preparing for their moment in the spotlight. She found Ben in the 3rd row, saving a seat. He looked tired but happy, and when he saw her, his whole face lit up. You came. I said I would. Yeah, but... He gestured vaguely. I thought maybe you'd get busy. It's okay if... Ben. I came. He smiled and she sat down next to him, and for the next 45 minutes, they watched elementary school students perform a play about the seasons with varying degrees of enthusiasm and accuracy. Lily was, objectively, the best tree. She stood perfectly still during her scene, branches extended, and when it was time for her to bloom, she added a little spin that wasn't in the script, but got applause anyway. Afterward, in the lobby, Lily ran to them. Did you see me? Did you see my spin? You were perfect, Ben said, lifting her up. The best tree I've ever seen, Victoria agreed, handing her the flowers. Lily's eyes went wide. These are for me. All yours. Dad, look, can we put them in water at home? Absolutely, Bug. They walked out together, and in the parking lot, Ben stopped. Thank you, he said, for coming. It meant a lot to her. It meant a lot to me, too. Victoria, I don't want to presume anything, but are we friends? Is that what this is? She considered the question. Friends, such a simple word for something that felt complicated. I think we might be, she said carefully. Good, because Lily keeps asking when you're coming back over, and I keep telling her you're busy. But honestly, I'd like to see you again too if you want, no pressure. Victoria's chest felt full. I'd like that. Lily, who'd been investigating the flowers, looked up. Are you going to be my dad's girlfriend? Lily! Ben's face went red. What? You said she was pretty and nice, and you smiled all week after she called. Victoria bit back a laugh. Did he now? I'm going to die of embarrassment, Ben muttered, right here in a school parking lot. But Victoria stepped closer, looked at him with something that might have been hope or might have been terror, or might have been both. For what it's worth, she said. You smiled all week? You called, Ben said simply, to check in. And then you sent that book Lily wanted. And you remembered it was her favorite. I have a good memory. You have a good heart. They stood there, Lily between them, and Victoria felt something slot into place. Something she didn't have a word for, but recognized anyway. Belonging. So, Lily said, practical as always. Do you want to get ice cream with us? Dad said we could since I was such a good tree. Victoria looked at her watch. She had emails, reports, a conference call with Tokyo that she'd already rescheduled twice. I would love to get ice cream with you, she said. 3 months later, Victoria found herself at Ben's apartment again, but this time it was different. The apartment was still small, still worn, but there were new things now. A better couch, a fresh coat of paint, pictures on the wall that included her now, one of the 3 of them at the zoo, another from Lily's birthday party. They were having dinner. Real dinner cooked together, sauce successfully unstained this time. So, Ben said, stirring the pasta. I have to tell you something. Victoria's heart jumped. Okay. I got offered a promotion, project manager. It's more money, better hours, but it's in Seattle. The bottom dropped out of Victoria's stomach. Seattle. Yeah, and I need to know. Is this going somewhere? Us? Because if it is, I need to factor that in, and if it's not, if this is just... I don't know what this is, actually. But I need to know before I uproot Lily's life. Victoria set down her wine glass carefully. What do you want it to be? I want it to be real, Ben said. I want it to be us, a family. But I know you have your life, your company, I can work from anywhere, Victoria interrupted. The company practically runs itself at this point, and Seattle has an office, a big one. Ben stared at her. You'd move? I'd move. For us? For us, Victoria said. If you'll have me, if Lily will have me, if this is what you want. Ben crossed the kitchen in 2 steps and kissed her, soft and careful and full of promise. When they broke apart, Lily was standing in the doorway, grinning. Does this mean Victoria is staying? Yeah, Bug, Ben said. I think it does. Good. Because I already drew a picture of our new house, the one in Seattle, with 3 bedrooms and a yard and a dog. Can we get a dog? Victoria laughed, pulling them both close. Yeah, we can get a dog. 6 months after that, Victoria stood in the hallway of Lily's new school in Seattle, waiting for the art show to start. She was nervous, which was ridiculous. She'd pitched to investors, closed billion-dollar deals, faced down hostile board members. But this mattered more. The doors opened, parents filed in, and there on the wall was Lily's newest painting. A house, bigger now with a yard, 3 people and a dog. The sky was still purple, and in careful letters at the bottom, "My family, we found each other," by Lily Matthews Chen. Victoria felt tears on her face and didn't bother to wipe them away. Ben appeared beside her, taking her hand. She hyphenated it herself. "Hope that's okay." "It's perfect," Victoria whispered. Lily ran up, vibrating with excitement. "Do you like it? Do you love it, Ms.?" Morrison said it was her favorite one. Victoria knelt down, looking at the little girl who'd changed everything. "I love it, because it's true." "What part?" "The part where we found each other." Lily threw her arms around Victoria's neck. "You found me first. You followed me home, remember?" "Best decision I ever made," Victoria said, and she meant it, every word. That night, after Lily was asleep in her new bedroom, the one with the window seat she'd begged for and the stars on the ceiling that Ben had painted, Victoria and Ben sat on their porch, in their house. "Do you ever regret it?" Ben asked. "Leaving Portland? Changing everything?" Victoria thought about the woman she'd been a year ago, the one who ate alone in an empty house, who measured success in dollars and didn't know what it felt like to be someone's family. "Not even a little bit," she said. "Lily asked me today if you were really staying forever." "What did you tell her?" "I told her that family isn't about time, it's about choice, and every day you choose us." Victoria leaned against him, feeling his arm come around her shoulders. "Every day," she agreed, "for the rest of my life." A light turned on in Lily's window. She'd gotten up for water or had a dream or just wanted to check that they were still there. Victoria waved, and Lily waved back, then disappeared again. "She's going to run our lives," Ben said fondly. "She already does." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the Seattle sky fade from purple to black, and Victoria thought about hurt, about healing, about the way love showed up in unexpected places and changed everything. She'd followed a little girl home one rainy night in Portland, thinking she was saving something. She hadn't known she was the one who needed saving, or that home wasn't a place at all. It was these people, this choice, every single day, the hurt she'd carried for so long, the loneliness, the fear, the certainty that she had to face the world alone. It hadn't disappeared completely, but it had gotten quieter, smaller, manageable, because Ben was right. Love was showing up. And Victoria Chen, who'd spent a lifetime building walls, had finally learned to build something else instead. A family.